Hello everyone, welcome to the Comedy Combo. It's the first time the Comedy Combo is sold out, so the whole auditorium is full. Yay! Absolutely brilliant. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Not really. Just boring now, isn't it, when you're old? When you're young, you're like, oh, this is great! Where are the presents? Now it's like, oh, pretty boring. I often think you should have the same enthusiasm when you're older as you do when you're 5. I think it would be absolutely fantastic, just imagining every road crossing, just all these businessmen just trying to push each other out the way so they can be the one pressing the button.
So now I'm going to decide which condoms I want to buy. Now the first decision you have to make is whether you want to go British or American. And I have to tell you, I don't trust a brand of condom named Trojan. Let's examine the story of the Trojan horse, shall we? Here is a large vehicle, man-made, piercing the gates, of the city, filled with semen. And as the lights come down as night falls, the semen then disperse through the city. It's an awful name for a brand of condoms. So I'm going to go British. I'm going to go British at this. Thank you, all right. I'm going to go British, okay, I'm going to support the home economy.
Well, so Christmas is gone. I loved it. Went down to my mum's and all the family came down. And on Boxing Day, we go for this lovely walk all together, hours over the hills. But Nana, this year, she's getting on a bit. She wanted to stay in and watch a DVD box set. So we said, OK, Nana, get cosy, enjoy it. And she settled down. She said she was going to watch Downton Abbey. And we went for a walk and we got back in and we said, Nana, how was it? And she went, oh, well, the plot was a bit slow and the characters were a bit cold and frosty. Oh, and oh, don't worry. I picked up the box, it was fucking Frozen Planet.
What I do in my spare time, I sometimes look at religious pun-based products to buy. And while I was in New York, this is a thing you can actually buy. There's a Jewish brewing company called Hebrew. And on the bottle of beer, it's got this rabbi, smiling, woo, and you can actually buy it. And I thought, you're right. What other products can there be? So these are the two that I'll leave you with. There's a Christian product called Lollipop. And you can actually buy this too. And it's just, a lollipop with a picture of Benedict the 16th, and you can suck on him. And I think it's great for kids. No.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. When she's gone, only darkness when she's away. When she's away. 'Cause I'm not sure how to work the Venetian blinds, and every time I let go of the cord, it just ravels straight back up, ravels straight back up. I'm not even sure why they're Venetian, I thought maybe they need to be partly underwater, but that just made the carpet wet. And now when my friends come in my room, they always say, can you smell damp? A brief update on that, actually. My room was to deal with the dampness. My friend told me that if I get water on my phone, you just put it in rice. So I hung loads of bags of rice from the ceiling, but the packets weren't permeable, so I had to jab holes in, and now there's just a kind of ricey mush on the floor.
I'd like quite a big family. One of my heroes is George Foreman. He's got 11 children. It's relevant. Segue. It's relevant. He's got 11 children, and they're called George Foreman. George Foreman. George Foreman. Ooh. George Foreman. George Foreman. George Foreman. Georgina Foreman. Georgetta Foreman. George Foreman. George Foreman. And George Foreman. Now, while I don't quite want 11 children, I think 5 is quite a good amount. And I'd like to use the George Foreman method naming a child. I think it's excellent. So when I have my 5, I want to name them George Foreman, George Foreman, George Foreman, George Foreman, George Foreman.
I want to talk about prejudice tonight. A type of prejudice that I didn't realise existed until I moved to Bristol. It first happened to me during a job interview. So Josh, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Well, I'm from Derbyshire, but I've been in Leeds for the past 3 years, and let's just backtrack a bit there. We do not discriminate in any way against Northerners. I actually think what you're doing is very brave. Sorry? It takes a lot of courage to leave your homeland and travel to a distant place where you can get a job and earn money to send back to your massive family. Firstly, I'm an only child. Secondly, my mum and dad are quite well to do actually. They've got a colour telly and they drink J2Os now instead of pop.
I like to travel like a lot of people, and in my life I've been very lucky to see and do some of the greatest things this planet has to offer. I mean, I've been to the Great Wall of China, I've been on the Trans-Siberian Express, I've been to Wookey Hole. Yeah, whoop. Because Wookey Hole, if you haven't heard of it, it's essentially caves in the West Country. It's not a euphemism for Barbara Streisand's vagina. Yeah, but I've been all around the world, but my parents and my grandparents, they're not impressed. To them, there's only one place worth its salt as a travel destination, and that place is Weston-super-Mare. Yeah. If you haven't been to Weston-super-Mare, it's basically like Blackpool on Horlicks.
I can't talk to girls. I'm not one of those people who can go up to a girl and say, "Hello, do you like squirrels and pictures of jam?" I just can't do it. It doesn't work. I mean, in fact, the last time I was on a date with a girl, I made it through an entire date. It was just before I moved to Bristol, and we were walking home, and we were talking about me moving, and she was saying she didn't like the idea of living in a big city. She was afraid she would get shot. And my brilliant bastard of a brain thought it'd be a good idea to say this: a girl as gorgeous as you will never get shot. You're far more likely to get raped. Excellent, well done. So yeah, talking isn't really an option.
So I'm a confused man. I'm confused on a daily basis, mostly by words and signs. I'm regularly stuck in traffic in front of signs that say roadworks. And I just think, no, it doesn't. There's a big hole in the road. Quite obviously doesn't work. There's another sign as well. It says caution cyclists. What does that mean? Does it mean caution the cyclists against the drivers because it's well known that all drivers hate cyclists? Or does it mean that the drivers should be scared of the cyclists because they suddenly just come out of nowhere and scare you? Or does it mean, and this is what I like to think it means, it's when you're in a car and you match speed with a cyclist and you wind down your passenger window, you just point him. Steady on now. You've been warned.
It's actually my mum that's Swedish. She's from Sweden. She's saying there are some cultural differences. For example, in Sweden, you don't have the song Happy Birthday. You've got a song called Jag må han leva, which translates as Long may he live. So sometimes I'll just come home and she'll be singing Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it is today. Happy birthday to you. I'm like, Mum, what are you doing? It's nobody's birthday. I know. I like it. It's a good song.